Now that retail stores, restaurants and various other businesses across the state are allowed to reopen their doors, many of them are weighing how cost-effective it is to do so with significantly reduced capacity and taking steps to ensure the safety of employees and customers from coronavirus. But some Asian American businesspeople have an additional problem when they think about going back to work: the possibility of being the target of misdirected anger over the ongoing pandemic and the widespread economic damage it has caused locally and across the country. There may be incidents against their employees and there may be incidents in their places of work, basically, said Marina Ong Bhargava, chief executive of the Greater Austin Asian Chamber of Commerce. These concerns prompted the Asian Chamber to schedule a free webinar on Tuesday in which an Austin police officer will help local business owners learn how to identify and respond to potentially racial riots in their stores or restaurants, as well as report them. Bhargava said there have been no such incidents involving its members and their businesses so far, but Tuesday's event is a preemptive step as Austin's economy is slowly opening back up. This fear is not groundless, as the US and Chinese governments continue to argue about the origin and fight against the pandemic. A Buddhist temple in North Austin was vandalized last week, and many local Asian Americans can tell recent anecdotes in which they or people they know were subjected to racial comments or rants related to the virus while in public. In addition, there have been reports of violent incidents elsewhere, such as the case of a man who allegedly stabbed and tried to kill an Asian family at a Midland supermarket in March, citing a virus, and federal law enforcement agencies have warned of a spike in hate crimes against Asian Americans across the country. All concerned, said Ronald Chang, a longtime Austin entrepreneur who owns 3 Chinatown restaurants here. Chang opened his restaurants for lunch service last Friday just hours after Governor Greg Abbott's order went into effect allowing restaurants, retailers and some other businesses to reopen at 25% capacity, but he said he sympathizes with other local Asian American business owners who may be concerned about it because of concerns about racism. "I fully understand where they're coming from," he said, calling the planned Asian Chamber workshop a good idea to raise awareness of the issue, provide people with useful information and ease concerns. Chang said that he himself had no such problems when making the decision to resume work, because he has been working in Austin for several decades and knows many of his clients. However, he noted that he was recently the subject of a racial slur at a local post office when a woman shouted at him that "you people were spreading the disease." Asian people are very concerned that such incidents are occurring against the backdrop of a pandemic, Chang said. Please put a like if you like. Marita Escobaras, Director of Strategic Initiatives in the Asian American Advancing Justice, a Washington, D.C.-based human rights group, said that they clearly are not. She said her group has received about 130 reports of hate crimes and hate incidents against Asian Americans across the country since about the beginning of March, compared with about 250 in the previous 3 years combined. These figures only include reports to her organization, so the total number of reports received by police across the country since the start of the pandemic is probably significantly higher. "There's definitely a lot, you people caused this, you people brought this, take the virus back to China," Etsiubanes said, adding that people are arming the term corona and coronavirus and using it against Asian Americans. She said 6 of the 130 reports all related to the pandemic came from Texas, and 2 from Austin. According to her, in one of the reports from Austin, there was an argument with a neighbor. Details of the other are not disclosed at the request of the person who submitted it. As Chang, Escobaras believed that Asian Chamber makes careful step, trying to be proactive, the business reopened. "I think these concerns of Asian American business owners are very real, and I share them," she said. "I wish it wasn't, but it's good to be prepared and hope you don't need it." Eric Yi, owner of the Asian market on Spicewood Springs Road, decided to close it in mid-March because of concerns for the safety of his employees and customers, although, as a grocery store, his business was considered important and could remain open. Although he has not yet made plans to reopen, he said the climate for Asian American businesses could affect his timing if there is a large increase in racial incidents as the pandemic continues. "It will just depend on how serious such incidents are, how often and how close to home," Yi said. "I'm not surprised that people are worried about this," he said. "I know people are talking about it, and I've been thinking about it. Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe."